What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out. It is a Monday, July the 2nd, getting ready for the 4th of July, a week coming up right now. Top of the morning. Well, not top of the morning right now. It's 10:22 a.m. Super easy. I'm just giving you guys a chance to start coming in. We're going to be talking about some portrait stuff. IGTV, Instagram, Snapchat, all that fun stuff. A lot of requests about portrait stuff. So I figured I'd do a quick live in the morning and dive in a little bit deeper into this and see if you guys had any specific questions that you would like me to answer. Testing all the different gimbals that I have: DJI Osmo Mobile, Smove Mobile, Smooth Q, Smooth 4, so many smooths. But yeah, IGTV is here. It's popping. It's very popular. And it comes at no surprise because you had Snapchat, Instagram, and now, of course, you have IGTV. But I've been getting a lot of questions about portrait orientation and all that stuff. So let's see. What's up, Broda? Welcome. Watch a movie, but thought I would stop around and say have a good weekend, and I'll be sure to watch the stream later. Absolutely, Broda. Thank you so much for stopping by, man. I appreciate you. Hope you enjoy your movie, and happy 4th of July. Well, I mean, Broda, I think you're in Australia or Italy. Yeah, I think I don't know. But thank you, Broda. Thank you for coming. Bring it to these things, but you could be big help just midnight. Awesome, man. Thank you. Hey, what's up? I hope he's simple. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome to the stream. So, first off, I'm going to start with, are you going to show the Moza? Yeah, we can talk about the Moza. Absolutely. I think it was either you or somebody on YouTube posted a comment about the Moza Mini and portrait orientation. So we're going to talk about it right now. Yeah, I know you were in Australia or somewhere there. Yeah. So actually, you know what? Let's kick it off with the Moza. Let's talk about the Moza Mini-MI real quick. I have it right here. Beautiful. So this is the Moza Mini-MI. It comes, of course, with its little tripod, which I consider very, very useful because you can use that as it's kind of like an additional length to the grip. So that's kind of cool. But the Moza Mini-MI, super fan of this one because it has the built-in wireless charger in the clamp. So if you have an iPhone 10 or iPhone 8 or any Samsung phone that has a wireless charging or any Android device, this will work. By the way, since we mentioned Android devices, I am getting an Android device. I'm just waiting for this wave of smartphones to come out. That way I can test these with you guys and kind of like see what the difference is between the software. I've been getting that a lot. But yeah, I'm definitely contemplating that. But enough of that. The Moza Mini-MI originally has this little screw right in the back of the phone grip. So you can release that a little bit, right? Kind of like that way. That should give you the opportunity to rotate this around. So originally, there we go. Originally, the Moza comes with the clamp like that, so you can fit the smartphone horizontally. And the Moza does portrait in a couple ways. For example, I have the phone. Definitely want to make sure you're balanced. So we're going to play with the little back arm here. It's not quite perfection, but that works. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that guy on. Cool. So the Moza Mini-MI does portrait orientation in two ways. You can definitely hold it landscape, and by flipping sideways, it kind of like finds his way. It's able to kind of like hold that position. And depending on the type of modes that you have, you'll be able to capture. If it's something quick, pop in and out, like a story you can tap, start recording, or do the hands-free. The Moza, for example, does not communicate straight to the phone. You need the Moza app for you to be able to use the buttons and interact with the app that you're trying to use. So, for example, if you're on IGTV doing or Instagram doing stories, or you just want to use the native camera app, you have to use your hand. So far, that's the way it's been, unless they update it soon, that will be fantastic. But that's a compromise I'm willing to make because, for Instagram and stuff like that, you can just do the hands-free. For other apps, it might be a little bit weird because there's no button. It kind of defeats the purpose of tapping on it. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But yeah, this is one of the ways where the Moza can do the portrait orientation. And then by flipping around, it just falls in place again. Now, I'm going to turn it off real quick because you can also rotate the clamp on the Moza Mini-MI. And we can switch this guy over to portrait, right? So we got that clamp going sideways like that. Just make sure that little button in the back is actionable, and boom. And now we have it like that, so it fits vertically. Once again, on any type of gimbal that you use, whether you're using this, the Smove mobile, DJI Osmo mobile, anything you want, remember that every time you switch, this is going to throw off the balance of the phone. So you definitely want to make sure you're as close as possible to balance on this. So you can see mine's leaning a little bit towards the left. So I'm going to now compensate a little bit in the back arm. I'm making sure that even though the phone is tilting back and forth, that I'm kind of like in the middle there. And then if I turn this guy on, we should get a little bit better balance in that regard. Now the Moza Mini-MI is awesome because the Moza has a 300-gram payload support. So this is one of the strongest gimbals that I've had the opportunity to work with. The other one's the Smove Pro. Smove Pro is pretty good, but this is also super strong. And yeah, you'll be able to hold 300 grams. So it doesn't really matter if you have a Plus, it should definitely retain that portrait orientation. And then that way you'll be able to record your Instagram stories, your IGTV videos, whether you're using Moza Mini, the Moza Genie app, or the native camera app. And before I switch to a different smartphone or gimbal, I want to see what you got to say. Let's see. S9 Plus. I don't know. Do you recommend that phone? I'm considering buying an Android device soon, before October, because typically they're going to be launching in September, October timeframe. So I'm considering either Samsung device. I've been hearing a lot of great things about LG with their cameras and stuff like that. I've also been hearing rumors about the Pixel 3. So I'm thinking about that stuff. So less jitter than with the Osmo Mobile 2. Tom, I'm going to be honest with you, that jitter situation is going to happen no matter what. What I started doing to avoid the jitter is just working a little bit on my footing. I don't know if you've seen any of the bicycle or skateboarding videos that I've uploaded, but there's no jitters on those because there is no vertical shift. Everything is just straight. So if we figure out a way to kind of like pace ourselves without being awkward and walking around, if you kind of like do the band march walk, one foot in front of the other, and minimize the vertical movement, the camera won't auto adjust inside the phone. So we get better results. There's no way to kind of like stop that, as it turns out. But with proper technique, you can definitely get it. Now, this gimbal does a really good job with the combination of the gimbal and the anti-shake. It's got digital electronic image stabilization, whatever you call it. It does a really good job. This is very impressive. This gimbal is very impressive. The wheel, everything here. I uploaded 5 reasons why I like the Moza Mini-MI, and I'm going to continue to make videos on this. It's very, very popular, and it's a very good gimbal. Hey, what do you think of the Osmo Mobile 2? Remy, I do like the Osmo Mobile 2. As a matter of fact, the Osmo Mobile 2 is right here, and I can test this same exact thing on the Osmo Mobile 2 in 1 second. But I think the Osmo Mobile 2 is a fantastic gimbal. They're on top of the game right now. DJI is kind of like, they're they're in Mount Everest in that regard. Their software is phenomenal. I still have yet to find a active tracking or object tracking as good as the DJI one. This one comes really close. The Smove mobile is pretty good, but overall, this is like spot on. I'm not too much of an object tracking guy, to be honest with you. I'm more of a run and gun type of situation. But for those of you who are looking to do object tracking, then definitely that will be one of my top picks. Is Moza Mini-MI the only gimbal that can do the Inception mode, or is there any other gimbal that have similar abilities? The Smooth Q, Alvin, The Smooth Q allows you to also adjust the roll. The Smooth 4, if I'm not mistaken, also allows you to adjust the roll, but not to the same extent. The thing is that on this guy, let me actually show you that. Let me flip this guy around so I can show you how the Inception mode behaves on the Moza Mini-MI, which it's one of those things that you see, and I saw that as very gimmicky, like, what's the practicality of that? But the moment that I started using it, it was, oh my God, that's kind of cool. So the mode presets automatically the gimbal on the Inception mode over here. So if we do 1, 2, I think it's 3, 1, 2, 3, there we go. It starts kind of looking up, but it's not really looking up. It's just locking itself in this torch orientation, this torch mode situation. And then just by using the joystick, either left or right, it starts controlling the roll. Now you can adjust the rotation speed on this, and this actually works too for portrait video. So if you start in the portrait orientation, start recording that way, you can get some pretty awesome looking stuff and get to a full speed rotation, like a full rotation there. You can combine this. You can start rotating while it's looking up and then slowly make your way down. The gimbal will automatically adjust and it will stay in this torch position even if you were to go down. So you can create some crazy stuff with this thing. Now the other gimbals, as far as rotating the head, most of them do it this way. The Smooth Mobile can rotate the roll axis that way, and the Smooth Q and Smooth 4 as well. But this one uses the rotation for that thing, and then it does it this way, which I think it's way more efficient. I haven't found one of the other guys who does it using the bottom rather than the other one, but fantastic feature. So so the Inception mode, it's one of the things that I really like about this gimbal. Is there a wide angle lens for the front facing camera? Would you recommend on iPhone for Smooth 4? I'd like to get a wider shot, similar to vloggers who use 35mm setups for vlogging or for selfie videos. That's a fantastic question, and I'm actually waiting for Moment to send me my anamorphic and my wide angle lens order. For some reason, it's been delayed many, many times because of their Kickstarter. But I ordered the wide angle lens. I ordered the anamorphic. They also make a counterweight, a universal gimbal counterweight that allows you to kind of balance the whole equation out if you have such a bigger phone and a gimbal that only has 200 Gs of payload support. But they do make lenses, but they're the rear. Now, Olloclip is another company that I've been able to test on my own, and they have the system where you can flip the lenses. You can do rear and front. So Olloclip is a really good solution for that. And if for some reason it throws off the weight of the gimbal, you can use the Moment universal counterweight. Now, just to give you guys a heads up, a lot of you have been asking left and right for the links and things that I use and lenses and whatnot. So I'm going to be dropping right here a link for my Amazon shop. Not because I want you to buy stuff or anything. I just want you to go and see and kind of think of what you're trying to do. On that link, I have groups of combinations per gimbal and stuff things that work with the DJI Osmo mobile, things that work for the Smove mobile, cases, GoPro adapters, stuff like that. Because I always had it in the video, but it was kind of weird to go back and having to search for that specific video that had the link. So I just say, hey, let me combine everything, and that's why I have that Amazon link there. If you ever wonder some of the items that I use and some of the things that you might be asking for, they're going to be there as well. But yeah, the Olloclip is definitely something that I haven't added to that link, but Olloclip, fantastic job. They just released a version of their lenses for the iPhone 10 as well, and I tried it at VidCon, and it was pretty good. It's pretty good. Note 9 next month. Yeah, I've been seeing videos about that and like previews, and I'm interested. I'm interested in getting an Android device. It's going to be a first for me. I've never had an Android device ever, except for my mom's potato phone that I use for place holding my shots. Love the S9 Plus with my DJI Osmo Mobile. That's awesome. S9, Note 9 coming up. Thinking about that. Remy says, you make great videos, very good quality, continuous. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it. Tom, thanks for the tip. I'll try it. Perfect, man. The king of smartphone gimbals. Thanks, Christopher. I appreciate it. Thanks for your videos, your opinion. I bought the DJI Osmo Mobile 2 and will soon receive it again. Thank you for your opinion. Absolutely, man. Anytime. Alvin, thanks a lot, man. I got my question answered with additional free shooting tip. Anytime, man. I'm glad you found this useful. Tapia says, I noticed when you place the iPhone with the lens to the left, it'll show the gimbal arm in videos. I haven't tested my wide angle moment lens. So yeah, for that, you might want to, I'm going to switch over now to the DJI Osmo Mobile because we want to also do some portrait testing with this thing. There we go. It's been a while since I've held the Osmo. I've been shooting a lot with the Moza and with the Smove mobile. It kind of like felt cool in my hand to go back to the Osmo. That was one of my first gimbals, the DJI Osmo Mobile, the first one, and that changed everything for me. So 2 ways with the DJI Osmo Mobile and the wide angle lens and stuff like that. I'm going to try to combine them both together. So when you put the Osmo, the phone inside the Osmo like that, just make sure you're balanced. Beautiful. It's still balanced from last time, but you got to make sure that, you see that? The tilt, it's going to the front because the phone's a little bit heavier on that side, thanks to cameras. So we're going to adjust this section over here, and now we should. Wow, look at that. Balanced. And with the DJI Osmo Mobile, when you have this guy on, you have the ability to hold it this way, right? It's on, it's stabilized, cool stuff. If you hold the gimbal sideways, it does the same thing as the Moza Mini-MI. So you can hold the gimbal sideways if it's something quick, fast, and easy. Now, the beautiful thing about the Osmo Mobile is that when you pair originally the gimbal to the phone, right, and you go through the DJI Go app, you register, you do all that mumbo jumbo. After the fact, you can actually use the camera app. You can use the native camera app. You can use Instagram. You can use Snapchat, Facebook, and the buttons will automatically work with the phone. That is huge. That is fantastic, especially for me that I shoot a lot with the native camera app. I'm a practical guy. I try not to get fancy. There's a shot. I take it. End of story. So I like that feature. The only thing that won't work with the native camera app is going to be, of course, a zoom, but it does with Filmic Pro and other apps that take advantage of that integration with the buttons and all that fun stuff. As far as the lens, asking Tapi's question, if you were to have a wide angle lens over here on your phone, you might notice the motor. And this happens also with GoPro. Some of the GoPro cameras, of course, are super wide. And if you're not using an adapter that pushes it a little bit towards the left, you're going to see this. So the best way will be to tap the mode button until you see kind of like a yellowy light change. That way it locks, and you can hold the gimbal in kind of like a torch position. Once you hold the gimbal this way, you're removing the motor from the lens view, and you'll be golden. Just keep that in mind. If you're using wide angle lenses on the rear camera, you might encounter that. Just a quick fix will be to lock the gimbal, and then boom, you'll be able to shoot that way. Plus, I've been saying for many, many months, if you're going to be walking, you don't want to be walking and recording sliding or dolly shots like this. You definitely want to lock the gimbal so the motors do their job and stabilize your phone. That way there's no vertical shift to this extent. Because if you're walking around like this, you're not stabilizing anything. But if you're walking around like this, your gimbal is going to at least minimize of that shift. So that's one of the ways to do portrait on the Osmo, just by simply switching around like this. And you can take advantage of all the modes, free mode, going up, going down, going left and right. Tap to lock it. That way, if you're walking around, moving a little bit, it's doing its job to keep you in place. Hope that helped. Jeff, great video. Always, thank you so much, Jeff. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Ho, ho. What's up, Quentin? Got it. Thanks. You're awesome. Oh, thank you. You are awesome for hanging out with me. Now, the other way, you can do portrait on the DJI Osmo mobile. Before we continue moving on down the gauntlet of gimbals, I have the Smove mobile here as well. And I'm going to show you a couple tips and tricks on that as well if you haven't seen it, or if you're still considering getting gimbals and most of your audience or your work's going to be done on Instagram, IGTV, all that fun stuff. I'm going to turn this off real quick. And for this, you have to take off the gimbal, the phone from the gimbal, of course. And right in the back, there's a screw in your Osmo. You undo that as much as you can, and then you rotate the clamp, lock it up again, and now you have the ability to put your phone in portrait. Now, keep in mind that even though the gimbal has been designed to do this, some phones might throw out the weight. As you can see, it's going to the right. So once again, we got to make sure that we're balanced. So right in the back over here, whoops, I moved the computer. So right in the back, there's like that little screw that you can kind of like collapse and move it all the way towards the left. But even still, it might not be enough. You see how it's still leaning towards the one side. So now we go to the back here and we try to shift everything away from the motor this way. So I'm going to push everything. There we go. And now, look at that. Now it's leaning to the other side. So, okay, let's go back a little bit. Maybe we did too much. Perfect. So this is kind of like the whole idea, guys. The phone will tilt back and forth regardless. I just rest it on my motor in the back. That way I can get pretty good horizontal alignment. And then I just try to get it as close as possible to the middle. That way the gimbal is not struggling too much with this axis over here, with the motor on the sides here. So I'm going to turn on the gimbal and we should be golden. And here we are. And that's how we do the portrait balancing and orientation. If you start hearing noises on your gimbal, some weird or something like that, that means that a motor is working harder than intended. Try to adjust and fine tune your vertical alignment here. If you're using a case, be mindful that the case might throw it off as well because it might be over the limitations of the motors in this gimbal. But other than that, this is great, especially if you're doing, IGTV. If you're doing stories or anything like that, you can still use the buttons to kind of like alter this around and move it around. You can lock it in place. I'm in locked mode, and you can kind of like, enjoy of those modes. 2 clicks goes back to the middle. 2 clicks goes back to the middle. You can have it follow anytime. So this is huge. Now, the benefit of having it in portrait as well is that, I don't know if you noticed, but I uploaded 2 videos with new microphones. So I have a microphone video called Rode Video Mic Me L. It's a new variant of the video mic that already exists. That's on the Amazon link that goes straight to Lightning. So if you have an iPhone or an Android device, there's like 2 different versions. But this opens up a little bit of room for that behavior. Or if you're trying to charge your phone while you're doing Instagram stories or Instagram lives, you can just plug in your phone. You have way more room here for an adapter or a cable, and then it goes straight to the back. All those cables are also in the Amazon link. So if you were wondering which cables I use, it'll be these little guys over here. So they're like lightning to USB, and you just plug them up and you have enough room. You have to jiggle around and bam, plugged. And then we plug it in the back over here and done deal. We're charging simultaneously while we're doing our Instagram live or YouTube live or whatever we want to do. And that way your phone doesn't run out. You can even daisy chain it. You can plug in a battery charger, like a Mophie pack or something like that here, and kind of like charge the gimbal while it's charging the phone. Very, very useful. IGTV, good point on cables. Yeah, totally. I mean, this would be the way to go. With these type of cables, because if you don't have an angled cable like that, it's gonna be a little bit harder. And since we're talking about cables, I'll show you how I manage this situation when I'm on the go and I'm running a little bit low on juice on the phone and I want to do lives like these. Having the phone, the angled cable, they sell them either Lightning or USB-C or whatever. It will look like something like this, right? So you'll have the little angle to the side. And now we rotated the gimbal back to the horizontal position. But even though you have that over there, you're minimizing the distance. So that will be really good. If you have an Osmo, you can do that. They also sell the micro USB counterpart for the Smooth 4, the Smooth Q, all that fun stuff. So we balance it again. We go back to the middle. We turn the gimbal on. And that's all she wrote. Right, so plug this guy in the back. And here we go, guys. We're charging at the same time. Look at that. Yeah, we got the little charging thing. Even if you were to switch over to portrait, it's very efficient. If you don't really think about the fact you have a wire, you won't notice any difference as far as working this. I've also used this with a monopod. So if you have a monopod attached to this, like a super long one, I have it somewhere around here. You can have it in lock mode and kind of like extend, and it kind of looks really cool. It looks like a pro rig. But that way you don't have to kind of like move the phone around or swap phones or whatnot. So, yep. Can you use DJI with iPhone 8 and moment lenses? The answer to your question is yes, but with a caveat. The iPhone 8 Plus, if you're talking about iPhone 8, then the answer is 100% yes. If you're talking about the 8 Plus, yes-ish. The iPhone 8 Plus is going to be super, super big and a little bit heavier because of all the glass. So definitely recommend you using that either, with a gimbal counterweight. Moment lenses sells a universal gimbal counterweight that you can just simply wrap around the back arm. And that way, if your phone's leaning towards one side, the gimbal counterweight will balance that equation out and soften the strain on the motors here. What I've noticed over the past couple of months is that these gimbals say that they have a limitation in the payload. But when you achieve really good balance, there's some flexibility there. Like I've seen gimbals that are 200 Gs, 200 grams, but then I've been able to put like 205, 210. And as long as I'm balanced and distributing that weight, it's gonna work. Be mindful though that some sudden movements might throw up because the gimbal will have to react and it won't be enough for the gimbal to kind of like be able to adjust and keep that balance. But for the most part, it's been really good. So now that I did Moza Mini-MI, we did a DJI Osmo Mobile 2. We talked about the portrait opportunities that you have on these guys, especially now that IGTV, Instagram stories, Facebook, everybody's going towards portrait. I wouldn't be surprised right now if we actually see a home TV set that's portrait. You can do it right now with a TV and kind of like mount it to the wall sideways, but it will be crazy to see like an actual TV that you can mount vertically. That would be cool, right? If you could have your TV set rotated like that without having to unscrew anything. That way, if they make a native IGTV app on the Roku or the Apple TV, so you can see portrait IGTV, that's awesome. That would be awesome. Somebody figure that out. But let's switch over to the Smove Mobile. Smove Mobile has become one of my favorite gimbals because of its compatibility with the way I shoot. So let me put this back up in the shelf. You've been awesome, Osmo Mobile, and now I'm using the Smove Mobile. This is super hot for the summer. I've been seeing a lot of ads, and I happen to be on those ads, so it's pretty cool. Full disclaimer, I have been collaborating with Smove Mobile on their vlog. They reached out to me with some products. They gave me a proposition. Hey, we would love to have you film some vlogs and lifestyle videos with their products. So they send these to me. And yeah, we're collaborating in that regard. So my experience, take it for what it is. I wouldn't be using this if I didn't really like it. I'm that type of person. If I don't like it, I'm not going to eat it. It's not the perfect gimbal, but it's pretty useful for my style of shooting. For example, very straight to the point. There's no knobs, no nothing in the back. So if I'm putting this phone and I want to balance it out, I just push it out and that's it. No knobs. I really like the no knob mentality, and it behaves very similar to the DJI Osmo Mobile 2 and pretty much the other gimbals. So talking about portrait and all that fun stuff that we started talking about with the Smove Mobile, it's no different. You do have the ability to rotate the clamp, but the main event feature for IGTV and portrait videos is the fact that with the DJI, with the Smove Mobile, you can hold the trigger in the back. It has a trigger like the original DJI Osmo Mobile, and you press the mode button, and that rotates automatically. So one of the reasons why I love that feature is nothing but practicality. If I double click the trigger, it goes back to the front. I'm vlogging horizontally. There's a segment, behind the scenes video that I want to create right after I did my main video or before. I can just simply hold the trigger, rotate, and then create the content for the platform that I want to create right on the spot without having to take off the phone from its base, which for me, it definitely makes a lot of sense. Because time is very valuable, and you might miss the opportunity to capture something that's happening around you. So I value that feature very much. Ironically speaking, this is similar to the Inception mode. So you could create some sort of transition shot while it's rotating, right? So you can kind of like have a 0.5 Inception mode, so to speak. But this is one of my favorite features of this gimbal. Of course, you can extend and you can also rotate while you're extending, which is very useful. That way, if you're doing an Instagram story, you get a little bit more distance, but also the buttons on the handle, they automatically connect with the phone that you're using. So you don't necessarily have to use their app. So this is very similar to the DJI Osmo Mobile. So this is a really good contender for that regard. Because if you're using the native camera app, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff, these buttons, you can stop recording with the handle. So it's pretty darn useful. And the other method for you to be able to do portrait, it's the same as the other gimbals. So you can actually make a little bit room for the phone and rotate the clamp, right? So we were like this originally. We just simply rotate the clamp, balance the phone the same way as the other gimbals that we tried today. We balance the arm in the back just to make sure the gimbal's not struggling from one side or the other. And when we turn this guy on, then we have the portrait same as the other one. Notice that there's a little bit more elevation here. You can adjust that definitely. But if you want to charge at the same time, you can use the Lightning to micro USB. It's another different cable. It's also should be on the on the Amazon links. But right up here, there is a micro USB port that you can use to charge your device. And you can extend as well. Buttons work. And that's how you do the portrait stuff on all these gimbals. We talked about the Moza Mini-MI, the DJI Osmo Mobile, and of course now the Smove Mobile. Questions. Drop them down there. Let's see. RMC. Hey, what's up, Tyler? Tyler, you're killing me, man. RMC videographers. Hello. How are you doing? Loving my Osmo Mobile 2. Not going to use portrait shooting, but the Filmic Pro update has full support for the Osmo, and it's even better now. Yeah, absolutely. RMC. The Filmic Pro app is definitely one of those apps that you want to use if you are shooting something cinematic and you want to have more control. RMC has the right idea. The Filmic Pro app now talks to the DJI Osmo Mobile, so you can use the slider to change focus. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty awesome. So, Tyler, no, I didn't get. Well, actually, yeah, I did get a haircut on the sides last night because I'm traveling tonight. I'm going to Chicago for the 4th of July. So I expect a bunch of behind-the-scenes videos on my Instagram. So make sure you follow there if you want to see the behind-the-scenes stuff, because I'm going to be doing some smooth vlogs that I'm going to be dropping on my playlists, but also some tests. I am bringing on this trip the DJI Osmo Mobile, the Moza Mini-MI, and the Smove Mobile. I'm bringing 3 gimbals with me because I'm going to be filming that comparison over there in Chicago. A lot of you have been asking, hey, compare the Moza Mini-MI versus the DJI Osmo Mobile. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and do that while I'm out there. So Devin says, hi, just want to make sure, as I'm confused, portrait mode is when the mobile is held on horizontal mode rotation. No, this would be portrait mode. Portrait orientation, so to speak, because there's a lot of confusion since there's like modes and stuff like that. But for example, if you're holding the phone in a vertical position, that's a portrait. If you're holding the phone on a landscape orientation, such as, let me turn this up real quick. There we go. Such as this, then this is landscape, right? Landscape, you'll be able to see a little bit more of a wider picture. So your TV is landscape orientation. Instagram is portrait orientation. The stories, IGTV, just everything vertical will be portrait. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because now the market has embraced portrait video. We consume video this way. Most of the time, we're interacting with our phone more than ever. And believe it or not, 90% of YouTube's traffic is mobile. It's crazy. So I think actually, was it YouTube or Instagram? Anyways, yeah, of course, it's going to be Instagram. So yeah, they came out with that, swinging out the gates, and I think it's phenomenal. Let me know what you think about IGTV. Have you been using it, or are some of your favorite creators been uploading there, or what type of content do you think will fit that platform in contrast to the other ones? So yeah, let me know. Dubbin thing, you got it. No worries, Dubbin. What is called when it's held vertical? Portrait. I don't know. You see this, Tyler? Sorry, portrait is vertical mode. Yeah, and then portrait and then landscape. Hey, what's up, Ethan? Welcome to the stream. It's my little nephew right there, Ethan. Welcome to the stream. This video is taking a portrait mode. No, this video has been taken a landscape orientation right now. If you were to go to Instagram or your Snapchat stories, those are portrait. Actually, I'm going to do some Inception over here, but I was able to grab my videos on Final Cut, right? This is a landscape video. So you can see you can't really enjoy too much of the video because it's very small. So if I rotate to landscape, boom, now I take advantage of the entire video. Yay! But with the popularity of these platforms showcasing video and portrait, now I've been able to export videos in portrait. So now this will be a portrait-oriented video. If I were to do it like this, you see how we get those black bars on the sides? I moved it. There we go. So portrait, if I were to move that here, that's why sometimes on Instagram or actually YouTube, you see videos with those black bars. Those piss me off so much. But YouTube now supports this. So if you see a video with those 2 black bars on the sides and the video was natively filmed this way and uploaded this way, then YouTube and Instagram will allow you to play it this way. So when you hit play, now you take advantage of the whole screen. That's from Instagram. You should go check it out and give it a little heart thing situation. But yeah, I've been uploading all these videos on Instagram, on Facebook. I have a new Facebook page. It's facebook.com/EMT Film, not films, because it was taken for some reason. But it's EMT Film. Let's see, what do we got over here? Honestly, the focus pulling is awesome. Can't wait to use it for the reason I bought it when I got back to South Africa. Whoa, South Africa. I would love to go there. I'll be using it to shoot rehearsal and backstage things for theater productions. Yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, the focus pull with Filmic Pro, you can do that. Now, the Smove mobile app, I don't know if you guys have seen, I just uploaded also a 5 reasons why I like the Smove mobile part 2. The Smove mobile app also now supports the focus pulling, zoom in, zoom out, ISO, so you can change those values with the little slider. You can even change the exposure compensation and white balance. These guys are competing. Like, everybody's bringing their A game. DJI, Smove, Zhiyun, they're all coming out swinging. So it's pretty good. Many videos related to hotel rooms. That's awesome. I recommend definitely playing with that focus in Filmic Pro if you decide to go with the DJI Osmo. But if you have any other gimbals like the Smove Mobile, it's gonna be good. Wide angle lens, definitely a must. That way you get a wider picture and so the rooms look bigger. And shoot at 60 frames per second as much as you can. That way you can do slow-mo, and that removes any possible jitter. It softens the blow in that regard. That's my tip for you. This would be better in portrait mode or the other way. You should do both. If you're going to be posting on YouTube, you should definitely take advantage of the landscape orientation that you're going to get, that real estate. The behavior of the users is already wired for landscape orientation, at least the major population that consumes YouTube. But if you're going to be posting on Instagram, take advantage of that form, because IGTV and Instagram have been associated with portraits since they have the stories. So it's weird because we love to consume the content, but just depending on the platform, we might do it differently. So you should do both. And some people opt, like I do it all the time, where I edit my video in landscape, but then I just align and I cut the center. Probably I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I'm going to export this out of YouTube and just cut this down and repurpose it as an IGTV episode. So that's a thing that you could potentially integrate. So let's see, what else? IGTV I haven't used yet, but working on reality TV show. And at the moment, it takes up way too much time, so I haven't had the time to shoot too much. Yeah, totally, man. It's too many platforms right now, but I think the top ones: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram in general. Fantastic. Materials over to YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Yeah, definitely, man. So gimbal, wide angle lens. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Fortunately, we don't get gimbal in South Africa. I just bought my Osmo while here in Spain and got Smooth Forest with nice. Smooth Forest really good because of that wheel. But I definitely do feel that the DJI Osmo was going to give you a little bit better balance. How do you shoot on both modes at the same time? I don't. I just try to think ahead of the game, when I'm filming, and I try to think, okay, so for example, if I'm going to crop this for IGTV, I shouldn't be standing here. Because if I crop this, my face is going to be like up in the screen. It's like all weird. So ideally, I plan to sit back here. That way, if I crop this video, I'm giving you a little bit of space and distance on the screen so you can see what I have behind me. So the shot's a little bit better composed and whatnot. So just account for, that crop. That way your subject's not being cut from the sides. Same thing happens with letterboxing. If you are thinking of adding letterboxing to your videos, after the fact, then you might want to take a step back. That way the whole person's filling the frame, even though you might add black bars at the top and bottom. Because if I were to be sitting here and you add a bar at the top, you're only going to see like half of my head. So that's kind of it. That's kind of like the mentality. How do I shoot? Yeah, just wish the Zhiyun app on Android was better, but I'm sure it will improve. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah. The Zhiyun app can definitely get some work. They've been posting on their social media that they're definitely working on that. That's one of the things where I'm still shooting on iOS because it's optimized for these devices. But now that I'm going to get an Android phone soon, we're going to be able to compare, contrast that before you guys make a future purchasing decision. And that's awesome, guys. It's a great time to be alive. We have the ability to do these lives, collaborate, do the phone stuff, do the filming stuff, do the gimbal stuff. It's crazy, right? It's so fun. What is the best app for iPhone for video editing? So I'm going to give you 3. iMovie, it's practical, straight to the point. And here's a tip. If you're trying to do cinematic edits on iMovie, all you really have to do is insert a 24 frames per second video first, and your whole timeline is going to be 24 FPS. How cool is that? But iMovie definitely, Cute Cut, cute as in cute, like C-U-T-E, Cut is another app that I've been using recently. And then a new one that I found, it's not new, it's old, but it's really, really good. It's called LumaFusion. Now there's an app coming. There's a beta for it now. It's called Adobe Project Rush. It is literally kind of like Final Cut, but it works on iPhone, it works on Android, it works on Mac, and it works on Windows, and it's made by Adobe. It's called Project Rush. If you Google it, you'll be able to find the beta, sign up, test it out, and see what's up. So those are my 3, with that bonus one being number 4, iMovie, Cute Cut, LumaFusion. LumaFusion being the top tier over there. And then, of course, Project Rush, which is coming out very soon. I had the opportunity to play with it at VidCon and blew me away, because you can export your video. You can say, oh, I want to export this for Instagram. I want to export this for Facebook. I want to export this for YouTube. And it exports them in the right format at the right time. Fantastic stuff. So loving this. Hey, what's up, Richard? Yeah, I gotta start. I gotta cut the stream soon because I gotta go to work. But thank you for swinging by, Richard. I appreciate it. Richard is a good friend of mine. He's been on my VidCon vlogs. So if you go over my channel after the fact, the top playlist is Smove Vlog, and that shows you behind the scenes of all the events that I've attended with the Smove mobile, which is really good. Hey, Tyler, what's going on? It's going great, man. Everything's going great. And definitely comparing on Chicago. I'm going to Chicago tonight. I'm flying tonight. I'm going to test the DJI Osmo mobile versus the Moza Mini-MI. It's going to be a battle. I'm going to try to do it at the beam. I'm going to do stability. I'm going to do active tracking. I'm going to do time-lapse, just the overall app. Straight to the point, basic, nothing too fancy. And I'm going to compare the extracurricular modes like Inception mode or the motion time-lapse on the DJI Osmo mobile and so forth. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me. We've been hanging out for about 46 minutes. Just to plug a couple things that I'm working on. Smooth Vlog, of course, coming every week or so. I'm also going to be doing a lot of Instagram stories, Instagram edits. So make sure you follow me there. And if you want to see all the tools, all the gimbals that I use, all the adapters, all the intricacies, all the little things on the bio, I have a link. I'm dropping it right now in the conversation. That is my Amazon shop. It has everything that I've been mentioning for the past couple of weeks as far as brackets, adapters, microphones, things like that. In the description, I also have the Moment link. If you ever purchase anything on Moment and use that link, you get $10 off, which is good. Throwing a little bit of love for you guys. Trying to reciprocate what you guys do for me, helping me out, supporting what I do and supporting my passion of filming with my phone and traveling. That's awesome. If not Filmic Pro, what is the best video recording app for iPhone? The one that you can get. I'm going to be honest with you. I shoot with a native camera app. All the videos that you've seen on my YouTube channel have been recorded 100% with just the stock native camera app. You can definitely go granular and go a little bit in depth with Filmic Pro, but the nature of my approach, the practicality of me just capturing what I need to capture, I don't know. I just resonate more with on the go. I don't like to just set up a shot because most of the things that I do are going fast. So Filmic Pro, fantastic control, fantastic application. Highly recommend you invest in that. And definitely the native camera app. But I don't think it gets better than Filmic Pro, to be honest with you, because that's almost like the perfect app for filming on iOS right now. Are you doing collabs with fans? I do take stuff on another channel if you're interested. Tyler, absolutely, man. I'll send me a DM. I'll check out your channel and we'll see what's up. I love the opportunity to collaborate on multiple occasions. Doing it with Dear Gamer, doing it with Richard Landau. Why not? But guys, I'm going to have to start wrapping it up. Let's see. Last question over here. In 24 SPA, a phone camera doesn't support, right? At least iPhone 6s. I don't know if iPhone 6s does, but the newer device, when you're shooting in high efficiency format, allow you to shoot 4K 24. If not, you can use Filmic Pro to shoot 4K 24 or 1080p 24. You can also change the bit rate in a Filmic Pro down up to 50 megabits per second. If I'm not mistaken, it could be 50 or higher, but at least 50, which is great, which is awesome. Higher than some DSLR cameras at this point. It's crazy. I do have an email. Check it out on YouTube. If I'm not mistaken, is midnightleet@hotmail.com. If not, you can shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm actually better at the DMs on Instagram than my email. I have hundreds of emails that I have to go through. But yeah, guys, That's all the time I have for today. I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out. Don't forget to hit that bell if you find this useful. If you want to be notified from other lives that may occur sporadically. I'll see you next time, guys. I appreciate your time. Thank you for... Oh, WhatsApp? I don't have WhatsApp. Sorry about that, Dylan. But I do have Instagram. Go check it out. Or Facebook. Peace, guys. Have a wonderful 4th of July week. And if you don't celebrate that, just have a wonderful week.